Good evening, I'm Megan Hahn. It's Saturday, July 9th. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a look at demonstrations that are happening across the country, sparked by a week of violence. 3 people are dead and at least 1 person is injured after a gunman opened fire inside a Seattle area home Friday night.
I'm going to probably be a Philly fan soon.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you going to switch up allegiances a little bit here?
Oh, we got to be.
One of the things you mentioned to me earlier was that you hadn't intentionally come out here to see the rally. You just kind of wanted to stop in, sort of check it out. But despite the chilly weather, these supporters out here, they're still feeling the burn. And I mean, 96, that's got to be the hottest day so far this year, right?
I think so. I'll double check on that for the 10 o'clock.
I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I'm already getting hot. Yeah. And it's a little bit early in the morning, but if I was able to make it out to Minot to go to the fair, that's definitely something I'd want to be checking out. A skydiver defies death and some might say common sense. Free falling to earth without a parachute. Hundreds of protesters shut down a highway in Minnesota. The demonstrators brought traffic to a halt on Interstate 94 in St. Paul. A Minnesota woman was seriously injured recently when bristles from her wire grill brush made it into her food. In Dallas, the community continues to mourn the loss of 5 police officers who were killed in an attack Thursday night. They're just out here trying to make their voices heard. Austin Klein is one of the event organizers for today. He says he's been out here since 9 a.m. Tell me a little bit, Austin, about what brings you out here today. Supporters are streaming out right now. We went ahead and pulled one out from the crowd. We're being joined right now by Anthony Cook. Tell me where you're from, Anthony. Fans have been packing the bars since they got off work. Some have even been here for hours. And I've got to say, the atmosphere here right now is electric. In fact, the line is so long that it's wrapping around the building and you can't quite see the end of it. We're joined right now with a Trump supporter, Marty Beard, who is out here counter-protesting. The Caspers are like any typical family, cooking together and enjoying mealtime with their kids. But a year ago, neither of them could have imagined living a normal life. Jacob Casper has cystic fibrosis. He's been in and out of the hospital since he was 17 years old. After his body rejected his first double lung transplant, he found himself back at a medical center.
I was, pretty scared, really nervous that maybe they wouldn't accept me for a second transplant.
I mean, I don't think any of us knew if he was going to make it through that or not.
Another complication for Jacob was finding the right time to ask Kristen to be his wife.
I just thought that, now or never kind of thing.
He couldn't ask her because of a tracheostomy, so he wrote his proposal on a piece of paper.
But I used to kind of tease Jacob for not being very romantic all the time, but I think I can't really do that anymore.
The hospital chaplain performed the ceremony, and a month later, Jacob was matched with another donor.
We have so much to be thankful for.
Now, almost a year later, their lives are returning to normal, and they have no regrets.
Jacob means a lot to me. I mean, he is one of the best, most good-hearted people I've ever known. He's very special to me, and I couldn't imagine my life without him.
This will be Kristen and Jacob's first Thanksgiving as a married couple.
And then I'll make regular green beans, and you can make green bean casserole.
They're planning a big feast with lots of family and friends and are forever grateful to a special young man who can't be there in person.
Well, I kind of try to live my life like my donor's watching.
A journey of more than 1,000 miles is finally coming full circle as the baby who's defied all odds is set for the homecoming of a lifetime.
As I would say it, I think he's writing his own little book.
The ordeal began when Crystal's husband, Chris, rolled over in bed for a goodnight kiss. That's when he discovered his wife bathed in a pool of blood.
Then he covers back, and I'm just laying in a puddle of blood. I was scared. I had already thought maybe I already miscarried, and this is just the after effect.
The couple knew there was something seriously wrong. The family was rushed to a hospital in Bismarck where Crystal delivered Wyatt at 24 weeks. At birth, the baby's arm could fit through a wedding ring.
I wouldn't even think he was 12 inches at that point. He had, they put this little saran wrap over him because he's laying on the table. So I was so scared because I'd never seen a baby so small. and all these machines hooked up to him. I've never seen a NICU.
Experts said Wyatt could be confined to the NICU in Bismarck until April at the earliest. Meanwhile, Crystal's husband and teenage children had to return to Texas, but the little fighter proved the doctors wrong once again.
He needs to be a little fighter, and that's what he's doing.
Now the preemie, whose name appropriately means warrior, has grown strong enough to head home.
My thing is, I want to let other parents know there is always someone out there that can help you, night or day. And if my story touches you, or Wyatt's story gives you hope, then great.
The Russell family says North Dakota will always hold a special place in heart. As you age, many people learn how to wisely spend their time. Jerry Hagel doesn't cut corners when it comes to finding ways to unwind.
It's a real relaxed feeling. If I'm tense or something, I can come out here and spend an hour or 2 hours just playing with this saw and hardly know the world is going by.
Watching him do the work is amazing, to see how you have to have rapid eye and hand coordination, and watching those tiny little pieces that take minutes sometimes to cut out, and then you start over and you repeat and repeat.
Drafting with a scroll saw is a hobby that Jerry picked up about 2 decades ago. He spends a few hours a day in the workshop that has become his sanctuary. As he works, he says time seems to fly by.
Usually when they look at it, they'll say, "I knew you built a clock, but wow, I didn't realize what it was going to be." I had 16 clocks to set the time on in the house, and we probably don't need 16 clocks to know what time it is.
Hagel has already built dozens of custom clocks, but he says he's not slowing down anytime soon. He's already dreaming up his next big project.
Clock.
He's working on a cathedral clock of 450 pieces that requires more than 3,700 intricate cutouts. It'll take a year to complete, but Hagel believes it's time well spent.